Hey guys, what's going on? I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another video. This one is a bit different from my usual content, but it is also kind of the same. Today I want to take a look at a 9-year-old exploit that was supposedly patched, but in reality it is still being abused. This exploit is no joke, and if used correctly, it allows an attacker to escalate their privileges, effectively giving them control over a server. This exploit does not work on all servers, it requires a few specific things to work, but we'll cover all of this later in the video. We are also going to cover how this has been abused and how you can try this exploit yourself. But before we get to that, I want to shout out the legends that support my work. These videos take a lot of time to make and would not be possible without everyone on screen now. If you enjoy my content, consider joining them. Your support really does help. Thanks guys, let's get into the video. A few weeks ago, I got a message from ENHANCEMENTS. Some of you may remember him as the creator of the Mace and New Chunk exploits that I spoke about in this video. For anyone that is confused, he is the creator of the popular Trouser streak add-on for the Meteor client. In this message, he asked if I had a Minecraft server that he could join to test something out. Knowing who I was speaking to, I was slightly suspicious. His YouTube channel is quite literally dedicated to Minecraft server destruction. I never ended up making a test server, and over the next week, he kept sending me updates about the exploit's development, but I was never actually told what this exploit was or what it could do until a few days ago when he told me it was ready. I created 2 new test servers, one that ran on paper and another that ran on the default vanilla server provided by Mojang. I then sent him the server IP and we hopped into a Discord call. Sadly, the recording I made has no audio. I may or may not have forgotten to unmute my audio. Anyways, after he joined my server, he requested to be put in creative mode so that he could build a house for the demonstration. Once the house was built, he handed me a sign and asked me to place it. At this point I knew something was up, but when I placed the sign nothing really happened. A blank sign appeared but no menu to edit it was displayed. When I right clicked the sign a second time to try and edit it, well, something much more interesting happened. I was immediately teleported to a different server and saw other players looking at me. I had been ambushed. ENHANCEMENTS then dragged me into a group call with these other players. Thankfully, one of these players, Sheepy Goat, was recording and he sent me his point of view, which does contain audio, so here is that.
Oh god.
Hey, I mean,
You just added him.
Hello.
Oh god. We must have the spice.
yeah, we were just playing in creative mode, building a house, weren't we?
Yeah.
This is what. Don't you regret building a house with a Minecraft hacker now?
I do. What the hell?
Are you using a VPN?
I hope so.
No, I am not.
Oh.
Yeah, your IP then.
When you said I was going to be hosting the server, I didn't think it would be a problem. But here we
You
are.
were.
Enjoy my
IP. We're not malicious people. It's just a proof of concept.
Yeah.
We just hijacked your IP.
Well,
Yep, no, the second I joined and saw other players, I was like, they have my IP, don't they? Yeah.
The command I used to transfer you here is the /transfer command. It's introduced in Minecraft 1.20.5.
That's insane. That is crazy.
You click
That
that sign, it
confused
gave
me. I
me
could just
operator
imagine,
stat to
like-
send it through you in your own server, or in the server.
That's insane. I mean, like, that confused me. I'm just imagining some poor lad that you've, like, found their server online. It's not whitelisted. They're chilling, building a house, and next thing they're on a different fucking server.
we haven't
That
had
is
to
ridiculous.
imagine.
I've been
Yeah,
doing this on public
I'm
servers to the owners.
That is so... What the fuck?
Maybe we should all go on your server for a second. Let's go see what happened on your server. Now you've been trolled.
Where
Your
is my
house
house?
gone.
What?
I'm now operator. Yeah, see? Look at all the lava I can create.
That is
This is
insane.
fill commands. This has been unpatched for like 10 years. You can still execute funny commands. You just gotta give the sign to an operator. Yeah, so you just go build it in a plot server, ask an admin to leave a signature on your plot, and boom, you're admin.
That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. That is not where I
Yeah.
expected this to go, to be honest. I thought you were just gonna, like, kill the world, or, like... stop the server from working. So when you said one of the server devs figured it out the other day, or what did he figure out? Like the exploit part or the
he just
part?
like looked at the sign and realized there was something funny with it, and then grabbed a regular sign out of his inventory and placed that and gave me a signature. And then when I left, after just for shits and giggles, he tested out the sign and he appeared in his Anarchy server, energy.breakblocks.com.
They're like, I thought you said he didn't fall for it. Why is he here?
Yeah, then I just hopped on his server immediately and griefed it using the fucking hand-to-gun module.
There is a lot to break down from all of this, so let's start with the different privilege levels. In Minecraft there are 5 levels of privileges. Level 0 is the default level for players joining a server and gives the user no access to any special commands. Level 1 would be a player with no privileges but access to a few basic commands like /help or /tell. Level 2 would be a player with access to basic commands like /gamemode or /give. Level 3 would be a player with access to all commands, usually including moderation tools like /ban and /op or /dr. Level 4 would be a player with full server control, including critical commands like /stop to shut down the server, and they also have access to server autosave settings. Now with this out of the way, let's dive into the exploit itself. As Ednal stated in those clips, he is abusing an old bug from Minecraft 1.8 that has supposedly already been patched. In Minecraft 1.8, a lot of changes were made to how text was handled within the game, and as part of this update, signs were updated to use the JSON format. You do not need to know what JSON files are, but here is an example of how signs worked after this update. A simple sign would be stored something like this. This update also included a new feature where signs could execute commands with what is known as a click event. This is genuinely a cool feature, but there was one massive problem with the way it was implemented. Players could use a modded game client to change the formatting of signs. Using a mod, you could manually reformat the sign to something like this. Now when the sign was right clicked, it would run the specified command. So anyone could join a server, smack a tree, craft a sign, reformat it with the mod, and then run the command to gain level 4 operator privileges, effectively taking over the server. I'm sure I don't need to explain just how bad this is. Mojang realized their mistake, and with the release of Minecraft 1.8.5 they included a patch to fix this exploit. Now you may be wondering, how did they fix the exploit? Well, they made a few changes, mainly making it so the sign could only execute commands at the same level as the user clicking on the sign. In theory, this stops users without privileges from being able to run these commands without already having access to the server, but this patch did not remove the potential for the exploit to be abused. Ednal realized that the patch only made the exploit harder to pull off. It did not remove the exploit from the game. He started working on his own version of the old exploit and began testing it on different servers. He found some creative build servers online and decided to try and social engineer a player with privileges into placing and clicking on his sign. He asked a random question, hoping an admin would help him out. He then built a house and asked the admin to place a sign on his building. Not knowing any better, they did, and well, this gave Ednal some privileges that he should not have had access to. With more testing, he found that this only works if the player who places the sign is an operator in creative mode. This is likely part of the patch that Mojang added all of those years ago. This does make the requirements for using this exploit quite specific, but I was told that these requirements are not that hard to reach and that Ednal and his friends had successfully abused this exploit on multiple servers. Another small problem with this exploit is that the sign needs to have text on them for the click event to be registered. If there is no text, then the click event does not work. Sheepy MC Goat found a clever way around this, using the escape sequence for a new line, counted as text but left the sign blank. I think any admin would realize something was wrong if they were handed a sign that already contained text, but with this new line workaround, signs appear blank, making it less suspicious. After even more testing, Ednal found the following. On a vanilla server, signs can execute up to level 2 commands, so tricking an admin or dev into clicking on a sign would give him access to the following level 2 commands: /fill, /setBlock, /summon, /give, /gamerule, /kill, and /execute. These are all very powerful commands that can easily be abused to cause a lot of chaos and destruction on any server. But on servers that ran on paper or velocity, signs can execute up to level 3 commands by default, so if he could trick an admin into clicking on his sign on one of these servers, it would give him access to the following level 3 commands: /op, /deop, /ban, /whitelist, and /kick. It is also worth noting that the /op command gives you access to level 4 privileges. And as you can imagine, this is a lot of power to have on some random server. Eternal and his associates took full advantage of this power and completely destroyed multiple Minecraft servers. Not only did they destroy servers, but in some cases where they got access to level 3 commands, they used the /op command to gain access to level 4 privileges, and then used the /save command to lock in all of the damage that they had done to the server. They also managed to get admin privileges on a server that was using the Multiverse plugin. Basically, for anyone not familiar with this plugin, it lets a server owner host multiple servers that are all accessible from one main server. With their newly gained privileges, they were able to completely delete some of the servers using the Multiverse delete command. For server owners not following strict backup policies, this is real damage that cannot easily be undone. What makes this so much scarier is that the exploit works on all versions from Minecraft 1.8 through to the latest release. Though there is one more catch to all of this. For versions below Minecraft 1.20.4, the sign still needs to be created with the 1.20.4 game client. An easy workaround for this would be to use Via Fabric. Let's say you want to abuse the exploit on a Minecraft 1.12.2 server. Simply launch your game in Minecraft 1.20.4 and then use Via Fabric to connect to the server. Your game client is still on 1.20.4, so formatting the sign still works. It is also worth mentioning that on vanilla servers and on paper servers with no additional plugins, the click event is not saved to the server console, so a user could gain access to commands without a server admin ever knowing, even if the admin was monitoring the server logs. Now, one thing I have not spoken about is how Eternal sent me to another server after tricking me into placing and clicking on his sign. Apparently in Minecraft 1.20.5, the /transfer command was added to vanilla Minecraft. This command allows a server admin to send any user to any server without special server tools like bungee cord. This command is not something that I knew about until I was sent unwillingly to a random Minecraft server. This can also be abused in some bad ways. When a user takes control over a server with the sign exploit, they can send any or all of the players that they choose to their own server to log all of the players' IP addresses. Most players would not be connected with a VPN, especially server admins playing on their own server. So this new command can actually be abused to expose player IP addresses, which makes this all even slightly more scary. Now you may be wondering, where can I get this exploit? Well, Eternal has integrated it into the Trouser Streak add-on for the Meteor client. He has also made a standalone mod for it, and I've linked both of these in the video's description down below. Both of these also include inbuilt griefing and trolling options. The grief server option spawns in large areas of lava around every player and entity in the world. There is also a crash people option that attempts to crash every player on the server except for yourself. So in conclusion, an exploit that was found over 9 years ago can still be abused, albeit with quite a few specific requirements. First, the person exploiting the server needs to be in creative mode to create and format the sign. Second, the sign needs to be placed and clicked by an admin with operator privileges. Third, this admin with operator privileges needs to be in creative mode for it to work. When these conditions are met, the exploiter can take over and destroy the server in a multitude of ways. These requirements do make this exploit hard to abuse, but with some clever social engineering it can clearly be done. Servers like 2b2t or Hypixel are not really at risk, but private SMP servers or servers with creative build worlds could potentially be at high risk to this exploit. Eternal is living proof that this exploit can be abused. He has documented some of his griefs using this sign exploit on his own YouTube channel. Again, everything is linked down below for anyone that wants to take a look at it. I would not suggest abusing this exploit on servers that you do not own, as you may get in trouble for it, but I don't see any harm in trolling some friends on a privately owned SMP server. Anyways, that is enough rambling for one day. If you are still watching, I assume you enjoyed the video, so please consider leaving a like, a comment, and subscribing if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. I have been your boy KiLAB. Peace in the Middle East.